Hello everyone, I'm Nini FC and this is Blue Lions TV, and today I'm bringing you guys a match preview for our game against West Brom tomorrow at 3 PM. Now if you guys haven't watched my Predict That 11 video, I suggest you do that because in that video I discuss who I think the lineup potentially is going to be for the game tomorrow. Now we're 9 points behind Man City and really we can't afford to lose any points. Now we're playing West Brom in the most perfect time. They haven't won in their last 5 games. They've lost 14 in the last 22 games this past year. So they're in awful form. Even though they haven't won in their last 5 games, they haven't been getting thrashed. Now they've only lost by the 1-goal margin. So they still have that defensive stability. So it is going to be a tricky game. Getting straight into the match preview, it looks like Luiz will be in the squad for the game tomorrow. He might not necessarily play. In my opinion, I don't think he will. I think by Conte saying he'll be in the squad, I think that suggests that he is going to be on the bench. And I really think with Conte, he is going to take his time to rebuild his relationship with Luiz because he wants to assert his dominance. Now, if you haven't watched my video on what really happened between Luiz and Antonio Conte, I suggest you do that. It's going to be in the cards right in the top right corner. There's been knocks to Charlie Masunda and Michy Batshuayi, so they're not going to be in the squad tomorrow. Also, Danny Drinkwater has another slight knock, but it comes to no surprise because he was rushed back to get into the team because we did lack midfield options, so it's no surprise that he is going to pick up small knocks. Still, getting straight into West Brom now, what are we going to expect from them? Now, with West Brom, they're the most one-dimensional team in the Premier League. Even though they're so one-dimensional, they are probably one of the hardest teams to break down in the league. Of course, you know, they've got very good defensive shape. They have a lot of players in that squad as well that really prefer that defensive side of the game. And it comes as no surprise that even though they have lost, they're still not conceding a lot of goals. Still, a lot of West Brom fans are losing a lot of patience with Tony Pulis because they feel that this is the best West Brom squad they've had for a while, yet the football's boring, the style and approach is outdated, there aren't any goals in the team, there's no goal threat. I mean, for example, only 2 players have 2 goals for West Brom and they're both the leading scorers. Now, 2 goals is not good enough. But recently, when it comes to playing in the big games, West Brom have been using a 3-5-2 with 3 defenders, obviously Kachoriak, Gareth Barry and Jakob or Morrison in that midfield. Now, of course, then they have Brunt out wide with Neom on the right hand side as well. Then Jay Rodriguez plays up front with Rondon. Now, it doesn't work at all because that midfield is too compact, it's too deep. And this is why they don't create any chances, and this is why they've been so awful this past year. And they've been very easy to nullify, but at the same time they are hard to break down. Now, what West Brom are most probably going to do, most likely the same thing they do every single time we play against them, is they're going to be very compact in the middle. They're going to have that back 3 very tight with each other. They're going to have basically a back 5 with the wing backs dropping deep. Then they're going to have Kachoriak, Barry and either Morrison or Jakob patrolling the middle, and they're going to stay in those central areas. They're not going to move a lot. They're going to be very compact, and then what they're hoping to do is when they do get the ball, either play direct balls to Rondon for him to hold on to it and hopefully bring in Jay Rodriguez in the game, or the odd counter attack where Brunt can get forward and whip in across. Now, the reason why Pulis prefers his teams to play like this is because he doesn't want any run to be made in behind. So by defending like this, it really effectively stops any channel from being created and stops any players running into it. Because when you do make those type of runs, that's how you stretch teams open and that's how you get goal scoring opportunities. And by being very compact in the middle and basically forcing the play out wide. Now, what do I mean by forcing the play out wide? That means that he's hoping is that the wing back's going to be out wide. Now, they only have 2 options. They can either put in a cross to no one, because the West Brom defence will outnumber all our attacking players aerially, as well as by having more men in the box. And the only second option that the wing backs have is either pass it back into midfield, and by West Brom being very compact and letting us play in front of them and them closing all the channels, all we can do is recycle the possession and pass it out wide again. But there's only one thing that I'm worried about when it comes to West Brom, and yes, that is their aerial presence. Of course, some set pieces, which I personally feel is the weakest part of our game defensively. I feel that too often a lot of teams get too many headed opportunities against us, either from open play, particularly from set pieces. Now, the past 3 games especially, the United game, the Everton game as well, you know, Crystal Palace, a lot of teams have been able to create a very good goal scoring opportunity from set pieces, and The type of set piece that always catches us out is this cross played in behind from the defence. Usually when a team has someone making a last man run to get on the end of that, either a flick on for it to go to the far post, that seems to catch us out quite a lot. And West Brom are probably the best in the league when it comes to attacking aerial balls. Now, honestly, I hope that we play smart. I feel too often we give away too many sloppy corners or throw-ins unnecessarily. Of course, when Aspie and Moses were playing together on the right-hand side, that right-hand side is the most solid right-hand side I've ever seen at Chelsea. Nothing was getting down that side. But this season, of course, with Zappacosta playing and with the back three, not having much experience playing with each other as much, too often we're allowing teams the opportunities to come down from both flanks. Now that's going to be West Brom's threat for the game tomorrow. Now, how can we beat them? Now, it is very simple, and honestly, this is what really messes up West Brom. If you get the first goal, then you've effectively won the game. By scoring the first goal, that stops West Brom in their game plan, that opens them up, that forces them to come out, and then you're able to exploit them. You're able to exploit the spaces being made, and then it becomes much more comfortable, especially when they have no goal threat. Now it's imperative, I keep stressing that we need to get the first goal, because West Brom are one of those teams that can hold out for the win. They're happy to take a draw, and Tony Pulis will probably be hoping that they can get a draw in this upcoming game. Now, personally, I would like us to use a three-man midfield. Why? Because as you saw in that Manchester United game, with Kante effectively dropping deep in behind, that gives freedom for Fabregas and Bakayoko to make runs and actually get in the box. And basically, by them getting in the box or near the box, that creates overloads. Now, the beauty is when Hazard and Morata, because their link-up play is amazing, the way they're able to play off each other, the spaces they create in behind, it's no surprise why Bakayoko was so easily able to venture forward in the box, and why Fabregas was able to venture forward as well. And really, by creating those overloads, that's how we could potentially stop them from, West Brom using their game plan to defend deep and force us out wides. Still, I have a feeling that because we are playing Karabakh next week, and then we're playing Liverpool next weekend after, I do see us using a 3-4-3 because some players do have knocks, especially Eden Hazard, so it makes sense to maybe start using the likes of Willian and Pedro in this game. Pedro does do pretty well against West Brom's, and I feel that really what we have to do is just keep possession and be patient with our play. Now, the beautiful thing is Kante is back. Now, by having Kante back in the team, that's going to allow Cesc Fabregas to really push forward and link up more with Morata and Eden Hazard. And also with Kante as well, we do play out from the back much easier. That's going to give an option for Cahill to make passes to, and hopefully, I do feel pretty confident that we will get the first goal. Now, I'm going to go for my score prediction. I'm going to go for 3-1. I do see us conceding from a set piece for some reason, but I do see us getting the early goal, which is effectively going to ruin West Brom's opportunities and chances and ruin their confidence because they haven't been winning at all. And a lot of fans are getting tired of that style of play that Tony Pulis is a fan of. And honestly, I think that if we were to beat them convincingly, Pulis might potentially, his future's not looking too great. And I think a good win against West Brom and then a win against Karabakh is going to give us great confidence for the game against Liverpool, where hopefully we'll have a fully fit squad. But anyway, you guys, that's going to end my match preview for our game against West Brom tomorrow. Remember, it's going to be at 3 PM, so don't miss. And the match review is going to be on half an hour after the game ends, so definitely stay tuned for that. Remember, follow me on social media, NiniFC. That's the best place to keep in contact with me. I leave my DMs open. If you want to DM me, you can do that. A lot of people do that and I get back to them. So of course, that's the best way to get in contact with me. I hope to see you guys tomorrow for the match review. Thank you for watching today's match preview. I'm the NEFC. This is Blue Lines TV. Signing out.